All right, we're just kind of waiting here right now for some new people to come in and join us. Right now, I have nobody, so I'll just kind of hang out for a bit and we'll wait and see what we get. We're going to be talking tonight about what we're doing here at my place to get ready to go to Arkansas and Oklahoma because it's not just one, it's both. And in case you guys don't know, I follow the Veggie Boys in Pennsylvania. I love those guys. I actually took my mom there to their farm market so she could do some shopping. I had my car in the shop, so they gave me a loaner car, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna put as many miles on the loaner car as I can because hey, it doesn't matter. My car's got a lot of miles on it, but that one didn't matter. All right, as you come in, please introduce yourself, and let's see who all we get in here. Um, we're gonna be talking about what I'm gonna be doing to get ready to go to Arkansas tonight. And I also want to touch on some things that I've been watching in the news. I'm doing this one different. I'm doing this one off of a brand new laptop that I just got. And I'm not going to tell you where I got it from because that's a very big controversy with a lot of people. And because of that, I'm not going to share it. But I didn't pay much for it. And it has a camera, it has a microphone. So life goes on. And if this video is good for you guys, can you tell me? Can you hear me? Is the video good? Because I think it's pretty good. It's not the same setup I normally use. I normally use this one over here, but I'm trying this one because this is the one I'm bringing to the OK Meetup, and I'm gonna try to do a live from the OK Meetup. I don't know how that's gonna work out. I am going to take some stuff with me to try to do some video from there. Hey, Greg and Gina, how we doing? All right, good. Thank you, Greg. I'm gonna try to do some video from over there. Actually, I'm gonna probably try to do some video from Arkansas while we're there because we're going to Mike and Lissa's to help them out with some projects. We're gonna be seeing. I think when we get there, we're gonna have Jamie and Kevin from O'Rourke's Littlefield coming in and working with us as well. But this will be for Greg Brink, the one right there, Troy Sutton, and myself. So I think it'll be a fun time, and I'm hoping that Mike doesn't put us to work so hard that we're going to sweat our butts off because I'm not real clear about we got to wash off in a creek and that water is going to be cold. I am going to bring a bottle of dish soap with me though, Dawn dish soap, because you can wash yourself off in the creek and the Dawn dish soap can go down the creek. It won't hurt anything. I mean, that's what they use to clean the ducks and the geese and stuff and all these oil spills and stuff. So I think it'll be really cool. All right. So for me right now, it's been a whirlwind. I have to try to get my lawn mowed. Today was a nice day. I will give us credit for that. Up till today, we've had like 7 or 8 days of rain and high winds, and it's been phenomenally terrible. I mowed part of my lawn one day, a big part, like the whole back side of the house, and over on the other side of the property that's not even mine. I did get all that mowed, but I couldn't do my front yard because I parked the tractor in front of the house and said, well, I'll just go in, smoke a cigarette, drink a beer real quick, and then I'll come out and I'll do the rest. And I wasn't in here probably 5 minutes, and it downpoured. And I'm like, okay, it's not going to happen today. And I was like, well, that kind of sucks. I actually had to mow my lawn. I do not like mowing my lawn in the rain because that puts wet grass underneath the mower deck. And I got a brand new John Deere zero turn. The last thing I want to do is rot that deck out because I'm putting wet grass clippings stuck to the bottom of that deck. That's the last thing I want to do. Leah bought it for me and she was proud of it and I'm proud of it. She won't let anybody else touch it. And I'm like, all right, but I had to mow it in the rain. Well, actually, it wasn't in the rain. It was shortly after the rain where it stopped raining. I think I'm going to say 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I went out and I mowed at like 6 o'clock in the evening, so I could still see what I was doing. And I was like, this is not the way I want to do this. I want to mow my lawn when it's dry out all the time. It does have the quick connect for the hose, and my hose does have the quick connect on it. So I can just like connect it to the mower deck, turn the mower deck on, drop it to the ground, turn the water on, turn the mower deck on, and wash it out. But it doesn't do 100%. It always leaves stuff behind, and that stuff left behind causes rust. And I don't want the bottom of the deck rusting out. It's what they call a stamp pan, not a welded pan. And those do not hold up well to any rust at all, period. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to go out and mow my lawn when it's wet and have all that stuff underneath the deck that won't wash out, that will cause rust. So that's been a really big issue for me. Another thing I've been doing is I went and bought 12 chickens. And out of those 12, I have 10 survivors. 2 of them passed away, unfortunately. You always have the couple weak ones that are in your flock, and those 2 apparently were the weakest ones. Like, they couldn't fight to get to the water dish. They couldn't fight to get to the food. They were just getting stomped on by the other 10, and they didn't make it. So, that's typical. That's typical. I deal with that every time I get new chickens. I deal with that stuff. But what I don't like about it is we're getting ready to leave, and they are to the point right now where they are drinking. I fill their water up every morning at like 8 o'clock. And then I have to go back in, wash the dish out, fill the water back up at like 11 o'clock. And then I have to wash the dish out, fill the water back up at like 3 o'clock. And then wash it out and go back in. I'm constantly filling their water dish because they're not smart enough to stop pooping in it or to stop kicking all their poop covered. I think it's pine shavings. Yeah, it's pine shavings. They poop all over their pine shavings, and then they kick the pine shavings in there. So I have to go in and I have to clear all that out every single time I give them more water. Same thing with the food. It's a walk. I can't just reach over, take food out of the bag and put it into their feeder. I have to walk across out the front door, across my yard, over to where the chicken coop is, because that's where my big bins are without my feed, and fill it up and then come back in, and they poop on their feet. And it's like, are you serious? I don't know how many times I've had to go in with a popsicle stick and clean the feeders out because they just poop on everything. They don't care. When I get done putting them out, I shut off their heat lamp this morning because I don't think they need it anymore. For one, they're getting pretty big. I mean, they're flying from one end of the area to the other to get around to get to the water and get to the food. So they've got their first true set of wings. So I'm thinking that I'm going to have to go in. Hey, Lauren and Joel, how you guys doing? So I'm thinking I'm going to have to go in, and once I get put into the coop, which I'm going to do probably tomorrow morning, I'm going to move them over to their chicken coop, close the coop down, and then just put them in there and leave the coop closed. It's got an automatic door, so I got to shut that off. But I'm going to put them into the chicken coop and just let them hang out over there. And life goes on, I mean, they'll get used to, okay, this is our coop. We got water, we got food. This is our coop. This is where we need to hang out. And then Tuesday morning, before I leave, I'm going to go turn that automatic door back on. And I'm going to let the automatic door come back in to play so that it can actually be opening for them during the daytime, but it'll shut down at nighttime. Yes, we're ready for this epic road trip, Lauren and Joel. We are absolutely ready. We are going to be leaving early Tuesday morning. I haven't talked to Greg about what time early means, but we're going to be ready. We are going to be ready. I think our poor camper that we're taking is going to be filled with so much other stuff for other people that we may have to unload it in order to have a place to sleep. Because we're going to be going over to Mike and Lissa's place and camping out there. I know we have a wood stove, I think it is, that we're going to be taking over to Lauren, or no, not Lauren and Joel's, that's you guys. We're going to be taking it over to O'Rourke's Littlefield and dropping it off. And then from there, we're going over to Mike and Lissa's and we're going to be camping there. And I honestly believe that the project that Mike has up for us, yeah, I know Troy is looking forward to it. It'll be really cool too. And yeah, you're going to meet all of us. There's no way you're not going to meet any of us. You're going to meet all of us. But Mike has a project set up for us that I think is going to take me, Troy Sutton, Greg Brink, Joel, and them to be able to start working on this project. I have no idea what it is. Mike will not tell me. I've asked him. He says, nope, I've just got this really big project. I have a feeling it's going to be working on this barn, but I'm not sure. Oh, Lauren and Joel get the wood stove. Okay. Making a home gets the wood stove. All right. That's cool. I thought we were going to be dropping the wood stove off somewhere else. But all right. Well, Lauren and Joel, you're going to be meeting us right there at your house. Which is cool. I mean, I'm willing to meet anybody anywhere. It doesn't matter. And I actually have a sprayer for Gary Skews over to Junk the Gems. But I may try to talk Mike and Lissa into letting me leave it there. They can use it because I got more than enough chemicals to spray all the property on both properties at all. I mean, it takes 1 tablespoon per, I think, a gallon. So this thing holds like 5 gallons. So it'd be like 5 tablespoons. These things are in like quart jugs and I've got 2 of them. I'm keeping one for myself, but the other one can go over there. They can both spray their properties, drop it off to Mike and Lissa and let Mike go out and spray his property, get rid of fleas and ticks because of the dogs and the people and stuff. And then on his travels, take it over to Gary and Mary. Well, my light just fell right off the table. That was pretty cool. Let's commit suicide while we're doing this one. It's a very unbalanced light, by the way. It's a circle. And it's set down a flat surface, but it doesn't have, I got to find something to put behind that real quick. Oh, I don't have anything. Oh, let me try this. No, that's not going to be big enough. All right, well, I'll just hold it. I'm not going to be in here that long. For fleas and ticks, it is called tetracide. It is, let me get this light set up to where it stays up, leaning on the computer. I don't need to see that part of the computer anyway. It's called tetracide. And it only takes 1 tablespoon per gallon. And a gallon with the sprayer, I'm going to be dropping off to them. I think you can probably walk the whole property using maybe the whole 3 gallons that it holds or 4 gallons that it holds. And once it's gone, you're going to be done with your area, you know. And then you can just, hopefully they'll take it over to Gary and Mary's, drop it off so they can do the same thing at their property. I'm going to talk to Mike about it. I've tried to talk to Gary about it, but Gary was like, yeah, no, I'd just as soon pick it up at the meetup because that's an hour away. And I'm like, yeah, but Mike and Lissa are still making that trip almost every day to get the kids from school and whatnot. So they're going to be kind of going right by your property anyway. You're 5 minutes from David. So I'm hoping that I can make that work. I don't know how it's going to work. Gary told me in a private chat, he said, hey, you can't get anybody to carry that thing around. You would like to leave at 6:30 a.m. Greg and Gina, that's going to be a little tough for me to leave that early because I have to drop Leah, my girlfriend, off at my mother's house, who's 90 years old and just got out of the hospital, and leave from there to head for Conklin. I can let her in. It's not a problem or an issue or whatever, but for me, that's awful early in the morning. Hey, Paul, how you doing? Actually, if you give me 5 minutes, I can run down, I can grab a container of it, bring it up, and hold it in front of the camera. That way you can see what it is. If that's acceptable to everybody, I'll run down and I'll do it. It's like 5 minutes, not even that. Down the bottom stairs, out the front door, grab a bottle, bring it up, and there you go. This is what I'm using. If you guys want to see that, I'll do it. It's not an option. I mean, it's not a not option. All right, hang on. I'll be right back. Okay, I didn't think it was going to take 5 minutes, but I'm back. This is what it is. Spectricide triazicide insect killer for lawns and landscapes. This stuff kills fleas, it kills ticks. It's a 3-month control, so when you spray it, it's done. But you only need to use 1 tablespoon per gallon. When I bought it, I thought it was going to take a lot more than that. So I bought a lot of it. I think I got 2 more of them bottles around. And it is like, holy crap, this stuff actually works. Making a home. Doesn't do grubs. My eyesight's not really good, even with glasses on. And this has been outside, so I really can't see the label very well. But I know it's good for fleas and ticks. Yep, it does. It kills grubs. That's like the first thing it says on top of it. It kills grubs. Kills grubs, ants, fleas, deer ticks, Japanese beetles. I don't know. I know other insects anyway. It doesn't kill bees. That's the one thing I liked about it. It doesn't kill bees. I bought this stuff at I believe Lowe's. If not Lowe's, it might have been Country Max or Tractor Supply. But I believe I bought it from Lowe's. Paul, ticks are bad everywhere. I had a little tiny one on my finger today. It just kind of flew up and landed on my finger. I'm like, what the hell? I thought it was a fruit fly at first, so I swatted it. And it just kept crawling around. I'm like, all right, well, that's not a fruit fly. And I look at it and says, oh, that's a tick. I have a very sharp corner over here on my side over here, so I used that to pull it off my finger. And then I smashed it with my lighter, you know, and it didn't crawl anymore. And I'm like, okay, good. Brush it off onto the floor to get swept up next time I clean, which will be before I leave. But yeah, ticks are bad in New York. Ticks are bad everywhere, actually. I don't have to deal so much with the flea ticks because I have a wood shop. I deal with wood ticks. The deer ticks are the ones that carry Lyme disease. The wood ticks really don't. But I have to deal with that, and I have to deal with it on a regular basis. When I go out to my wood shop, there's ticks everywhere. You can't go in there without bringing one back around with you. And the worst part about them is normally they don't land on your finger. They go to like your sweat glands, so they'll end up in your armpits or down on your groin or whatever. They don't normally go on a finger because the finger's wide open and out in the area. And for wood ticks, it's not the same. You don't get Lyme disease from them. But man, if they get caught into your skin and they bury their head, everybody says you can burn them off. Well, I'm sorry, but if it's in my groin area, I'm not burning it. I could probably take my wood burner and touch his butt, and it would react just same as it would if it was like an open flame. But I'm not burning it down there. That's not going to happen. So what I'm going to do this week is tomorrow, I'm going to take the chickens out and I'm going to put them in the coop. The door is going to be kept closed until Tuesday morning when I get ready to leave. And then I'll go in and I'll activate the automatic opener and say, okay, if they want to come out, they come out. If they don't, they don't. But I'm not going to be out there to maintain it. Because at that point, if they don't come out of the chicken coop, my girlfriend has to go out and make sure they have feed and water every day. Once they come out of that chicken coop, they have an automatic water in her chicken run. And I have a 4-inch, 4-foot long tube going down with a feeder. And I also have their other feeder out there in the coop, which I feed 2 different feeds. On the tube, I fill that with just the, what do they call that? Chicken granules. And then on the other feeder, I feed that with Henhouse Reserve, which is like cracked corn and sunflower seeds and all kinds of stuff. The regular chicken feed, chipmunks do not like. But that other one, oh, they love that stuff. And they'll actually burrow underneath the coop to get it to eat off from it. And then rats will have a hole because they just created it. So you got to really be careful on how you do that one. But I do it. And then I've also got what's called wolf pee. I got little felt pads that are attached all the way around the chicken coop. And if you spray wolf pee on them, it keeps all predators away. I deal with a Fisher cat. I've lost 4 flocks to this big boy now so far. So the wolf pee is going to be important. My girlfriend, every time it rains, is going to have to go out there in the morning and respray those pads to make sure that Fisher cat knows, hey, you're not playing around over here. But first thing I have to do before I do that is after the chickens get put into the coop, I have bricks, like pavers, all the way around the coop. And where the Fisher cat dug underneath them, I got to remove those bricks, pull all that dirt off from where it was before, where they dug the hole, and then fill them all. Hey, Paul, how you doing, brother? And then fill them all up with cement, which I've got a bag of cement for. It's not a problem. I got a drill with a big mixing paddle made for it, and I'm ready for it. You know what I'm saying? I didn't do it today. Today was 60 degrees. Right now, it's down to 58. So 60 degrees, now down to 58. Tomorrow is supposed to be almost 80 degrees with no rain. So tomorrow will be the day I go out and do all that stuff, get it ready. And then probably Sunday, I'm going to have to go out and do a little more work out there. Or Monday, rather. I'm going to have to go out and do a little more work out there. But then Monday, I got to mow my lawn again. I just mowed it, but I got to mow it again. because there's nobody here that can use my lawnmower to mow my lawn because Leah bought it for me and she refuses to let anybody else touch it. And I don't blame her. It's a John Deere zero turn. She paid like $3,200 for it. And I don't blame her for not wanting anybody else to touch that lawnmower. I really don't. And to be honest with you, I don't want anybody else touching it either. So that's my goal for Sunday and Monday is to get this stuff taken care of. And then Monday, I also have to get everything loaded into my car that I'm going to be leaving here, dropping Lee off at my mom's house, and then heading over to Greg and Gina's house to take off from there because we're going to be leaving early in the morning. No offense, Greg, but I really think 6:30 in the morning is going to be way too early. I don't mind unlocking the doors and letting my girlfriend into my mom's house, but that still leaves me driving to Conklin, which is about probably another 40-minute drive, I believe, from Cortland, maybe 45. But we'll push that limit. We'll get as close to it as we can. Because then when I get there, we got to unload my car into the camper or into your vehicle and then hop in and go. So it's going to be push come to shove on this one, but I'm going to try like hell to get it all to work. Our flipping Homestead or Farmstead, how you doing? But yeah, we're gonna try to make this one work as best we can. But hour-wise, I'm not real sure about real super early in the morning. That to me is going to be probably an issue that early. Maybe 7:30, 8 o'clock. Because I have to get up in the morning and I have to take her over there, and then I have to drive from Cortland over to your house. Then we have to unload my car and then go from there. I mean, yeah, that was another thing, Greg, while you're here, I wanted to ask you. Do you want me to bring like a case of water, bottled water? Because I know I'm going to need it for my coffee in the morning. I'm going to go pull my coffee maker out of the camper first thing tomorrow morning. That way I've got it. It's a K-cup maker, so if anybody else has K-cups they want to drink, they can dump a bottle of water in, pull the cup out. It's quick and easy. And I know that Mike and Lissa are set up with the power units that can make it work for us. I'm not drinking creek water. Although I do have a water drop that says I could, and that will make my coffee water hot. But I don't want to use that much of their power. All right, Greg, do you want me to grab a case of water on my way or pick one up? I can do that Monday. I mean, I'm gonna be doing some running around on Monday anyway, because that's just not optional. I have to go to the post office. My bank card got freaking frauded. Somebody bought something at Best Buy. Again, every time my card gets frauded, it's because somebody bought something at Best Buy. And I'm like, why Best Buy? I told my bank, I says, if it comes up as somebody bought something at Best Buy, that's not me. I do not shop at Best Buy. If I want something, I buy it from Amazon. I go to Walmart. I go wherever else I need to do it, but I do not shop Best Buy. We don't have a local Best Buy. I think our closest Best Buy is in Ithaca, which is almost an hour drive away. Or actually, it is an hour drive away. I don't go to Best Buy. We don't have one, and we don't have one over here in the next town over. Cortland doesn't have one, so it's like an hour drive away. I don't do Best Buy. I never have. I think I've walked into Best Buy one time, looked at their prices and what they had available, and walked back out because their prices are higher than everybody else. Again, this computer I'm using right now, if I bought this at Best Buy, I probably would have had to pay like $700 for it. I bought it for $200. I'm not going to tell you where I got it because that's a big controversy with a lot of people. But I bought it for $200 and it's brand freaking new. It even has a fingerprint reader on it, so I can say, yes, this is me. You know, you can't buy that at Best Buy for anything cheap. So I don't know. All right, so there's another topic I wanted to talk about tonight. And I've been seeing this all day long, and it's bothering me. It's bothering me. It's a TikTok subject that has gone like viral, and I don't agree with it at all. These are college students saying, well, just because you gave me 5 years without paying my loan, I'm not paying you. I'm not paying you. You want 15% of my wages, you're not getting it. And I'm like, wait a minute. What do you mean you're not getting it? It's not optional. You've had 5 years with no payments. Oh, but I won't be able to afford to pay my rent. I won't be able to do this. I won't be. Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can. It's called being financially responsible. We bought our house in 2019 for $90,000 on a 30-year mortgage. Our mortgage right now is less than half of what we bought the house for. Hey, Troy, there you are, brother. Our house is more than half paid for since 2019 because I paid extra. I didn't pay, oh, this is your mortgage payment? No, we paid extra. We paid, I think it was $4,000 extra, like within the first 2 years. That knocked down so much of the mortgage interest that it became principal only payments pretty much. And I'm like, yeah, that's the way it's supposed to work. That's the way it's supposed to work. People that go out and get a credit card and they pay just the minimum payment. It's going to take 20 years or 30 years to pay off the credit card. If you pay an extra $30 or $40 a month, then your credit card payments don't include so much interest. And that's the way life works. I mean, and these guys with these college loans, their interest rates are so freaking low anyway. And they're saying, yeah, no, I'm not doing it. I was watching them where, hey, I had a $50,000 credit loan for my college and I paid for 10 years and I still owe $47,000. Yeah, well, dummy, that's because you always paid the minimum payment. You're not financially being responsible. Period. That's all there is to it. If you're financially paying responsible for your payments, like my car, the payment is a set $405 a month. I bought it in 2023, brand new off the dealer lot. I think they've got the $405 payment maybe 2-3 times. Other than that, it's always been, let me throw you $450. Let's make it an even number. 405 doesn't work for me. Same thing with my truck. I still owe $7,000 on my truck. They keep telling me, well, your payment this month is down to $215. No, I agreed when I bought this truck, I was going to pay $400 a month for this truck. It's a given. I'm going to pay $400 a month. And I always give them the $400 a month. Even if they could knock it down to, okay, well, you pay us $135 and we're good. No, I give you the $400 because that's the payment plan I set up for the truck when I bought it. Financial responsibility. You watch these people, they're talking about being debt free and living on like Mike and Lissa and places like that. It's not because they always paid the minimum payment. No, they always went above and beyond when they could. And that made it so they could become debt free to do what they're doing now. And that's what I'm looking forward to. I'm not looking forward to I thought I was going to move to Arkansas. I'm not, because the price of land is getting outrageously high. And I already own land here in New York. But what I am looking at is I'm looking at upgrading the property that I'm on and making it worth more. So when I get ready to sell or whatever we decide to do with it, it's worth a lot more money. My new garage is on hold because my excavation company, I'll put the name out there, is Dana Fuller. He said, yeah, I'll be there in about 2 weeks. It's been 2 months and he still hasn't been here. So I'm just like, but finances have been running out really, really quick because I got payroll to deal with. And if seed orders don't come in as fast as they're going out, I got to pay payroll because they have to put the seeds together and they have to get it shipped out. So that amount of funding that I had went really low. A lot of it had to do with my truck. When I put my truck in the garage, I had $4,000 set aside to fix my truck. I think it was like almost a year later, I got my truck back, $5,150 bill. That was over budget. And now I've only driven it from the garage to my house. I had to stop at the gas station on the way because I ran out of gas at the gas pump, leaving the garage because he didn't put gas in it. I'm like, I just gave you over $5,000, dude. Why didn't you put a little bit of gas in the truck? The engine light came on when I hit the corner of the road, and it says, you got 10 miles to go. Well, it was about a 9-mile drive. I pulled in front of the pump. It actually stalled right in front of the pump. I filled it up. I got it started again, and I drove it home. My engine light came on. And I was like, are you serious? It's a brand new rebuilt motor, all brand new, catalytic converters, brand new O2 sensors, brand new this, brand new that. Everything is totally redone on this truck, and the engine light's back on. So I had my buddy come down. He put a scanner on it. He gave me a code. I wrote down what the code was, but I wrote it on a piece of a receipt, and I tucked it in my back pocket. Well, I forgot about that receipt in my back pocket because I never put anything back there. And they went through the wash, and the receipt just disintegrated. And I was like, all right, whatever. So I drove the truck again. I went to Cortland. I went to Lowe's. I had to get some cement. I had to get some marble chips to put in front of the seed house because it's a muddy area. So I had to get some stone in there so people aren't tracking mud into the seed house. And the engine light came back on. So on my way to Lowe's, I was like, okay, well, let's go to Advanced Auto. There's a guy there that is a Chevy guy. And I went there and I talked to him. He came out, he read the code, and it showed up as being a catalyst issue, which means it's either your catalytic converters or your O2 sensors. And I was like, bro, man, these are all brand new parts. Brand new. Like thousands of dollars of parts. And he's like, all right, well, I'm not going to clear the code. I want to leave the code on there because what you need to do, which I haven't done yet because I'm not too sure what it's going to cost me to do. And I'm not doing it before we leave because I got other plans. He says, you need to take this over to Royal Chevrolet in Cortland and have them reprogram the computer because all these parts are brand new and that computer is not accepting the new codes. So it has to be reprogrammed. And I'm like, oh, are you serious? And he's like, yeah, you got to do that. And I'm like, I am not ready to do that. Not right now. We got a big trip coming up. We got all this other stuff going on. And I really don't have time to do that. Hell, my new car just came on yesterday with a service light. And I'm like, okay, what's the service light for? Well, it's due for another oil change. All right, good. It'll happen when I get back. For me to do that oil change and have the tires rotated and do everything else that needs to be done on that car, I have to drive all the way to Canandaigua. That's almost a 4-hour trip from my house. And it's not happening before we leave. Could I do it on Monday? Yes. Do I want to do it on Monday? Absolutely not. I got too much other stuff going on. I have to find stuff. I have to get stuff loaded into the car. I have to be ready to go to meet Greg and Gina. There's no way I've got time to go all the way over to Canandaigua, get an oil change, and drive back home and still do that too. I'll be back home at dark because I take Leah to work on Mondays. She's got to be there at like 2:30, I think it is. So there's no way. That's why Tuesday I got to take her to my mom's house so she can crash out at my mom's house. And then from there she can go to work because there's no way I'm going to be here to do that trip. I do have 2 employees that work on the weekends normally that are going to be here Thursday, Now, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday this week. So any mail that's got to go out, they can take it to the post office. They can take Leah to work. They wanted to go to Cortland to go shopping anyway, so it kind of falls in play. But I have to worry about that payroll too. When I get back that Tuesday, I got to worry about how much money do I got available for that payroll. That's the thing that's been bothering me the most is how much money do I have available for payroll, because payroll has been kicking my butt. You know, we're in May. People don't order a whole lot of garden seeds in May, but we're still shipping from April. January, February, and March really kicked my butt. There was a lot of orders that had to be shipped out as the orders are slowing down coming in, where thank God I set money aside, because if I didn't, I wouldn't be able to meet payroll. You know, it's just one of those things. It's a rough time to be in business, is what I can say. And the government doesn't help any. They don't. Oh, we want this new regulation. We want this paperwork. We want this. I have so much paperwork I have to go through. If I could turn this computer over and show you my other side of the desk over here, I've got paperwork in stacks about this thick that has to be put into binders. And just this week, I had to buy a new 4-inch binder. It cost me almost $100 for a heavy-duty 4-inch binder. Hey, Melvin, Donnie, how you doing? It cost me almost $100 for one heavy-duty 4-inch binder just to keep payroll records for last year, because the 3-inch binder I bought is falling apart and it doesn't have all the paperwork in it yet. You know, it's just one of those things. I have another binder. This one here, it's not a 3-inch. It's like, I don't know. Yeah, it's a 2-inch binder. That probably will hold all of this year's payroll in a 2-inch binder. But last year, I had so many people working for me all year because it was like a capital year for us. We did almost $500,000 worth of business, so I had like people working every day, all day long. And one of them was in my wood shop. 3 of them were in my seed house. 4 of them were in my seed house, plus myself and stuff. And it was just like, well, that's an awful lot of paperwork you have to save, because someday somebody may want to come look at it. That's all it's about. I could pull up records on the internet and say, well, do you want to see this week? Do you want to see that week? I can show you what it is. They won't accept that. It's got to be paper. And it's a lot of wasted paper, as far as I'm concerned. I have to keep that for 7 years. And at the end of 7 years, I can just like shred it, burn it, throw it away, do whatever I want to do with it. But I have to save it for 7 years. Now I got storage issues going along with that as well, along with all of the paperwork for the business. My Lord. Our January orders are in a folder that's over 13 inches thick. And I have to save that for 7 years. February was even worse. And it's like, I've been buying these big 4-drawer, really long filing cabinets. Every time I find them for $50 or whatever, I buy them, and I've just been buying them, and I find a place to stash them, and they fill up super quick. Super quick. I think we've got like 3 months for last year in one drawer alone. And that's not January, February, and March. That's like April, May, and June. January and February took up a whole drawer of their own, and March took up almost a whole drawer of its own as well. So it's like, okay, well, I have to store all this stuff for all these years. Where do I store it? I can put it in my basement, but then I have to put it in cardboard boxes. Then I have to put it on top of a pallet in case there's any water issues or whatever. And now I have to mark each box so I know when I can throw it away or whatever. I've got boxes down there from 2012 that are marked. Outdated boxes don't throw away, because I had an issue with the IRS in 2013. And I was like, don't get rid of these boxes. You got to hang on to them. And I'm like, all right, well, where do I put everything else at? It gets to be a real pain in the neck. A real pain. Could I put them up in my attic? Yeah, I got a door right here. That door over there, that leads to my attic. But everything I buy, computers, printers, anything like that, even if it doesn't work anymore, I'm not allowed to just throw it away. I have to store it. So if somebody decides from the IRS to come in and check to make sure it doesn't work, it's available. That's a 5-year plan. You buy it, you got 5 years to write it off. Once it's all done being written off, you can throw it away. But 5 years, I have to store this stuff. I've been in this house 5 years. I've probably got 7 printers up there now. I'm going to guess probably 3 or 4 computers up there now. And it's just been terrible. It's been terrible. It's like nuts. Another thing I do is my computer over here. Well, it's all black now because it's got a timeout on it. I run Brave browser because Brave browser does not show ads on YouTube. That was great. But the problem with Brave browser was starting like last week, watching a YouTube video, it started buffering. And it was buffering bad. And I'm like, what? I went online and said, we're going to your registry. Change this, change that, change this, change that. I did it. It didn't make no difference at all. It did nothing for it. And then I went online again today and I was going, using the Brave browser, why are my YouTube videos buffering? And I said, well, you got to go in and change this one setting. So I went into the settings of the Brave browser. I'm using Brave browser right now, actually. I went into the Brave browser and I said, all right, change this one setting. It goes from moderate to extreme. How much privacy do you want on that browser? By changing it over to extreme, it no longer buffers. I can watch videos on it all day long and they don't buffer. Hence why this computer is sitting here right now, because I was getting frustrated. I couldn't watch anybody's lives because it would get to the point where I thought I was watching like Japanese movies. The words come out and then their lips move. I actually commented on Gary and Melanie's video about that. What happened to this? And it turned out to be my end, not their end. Where what happened was that Brave browser, for some reason, just decided, okay, we're not going to play with this anymore. And I don't think that's right. I think that a browser should be made to accept everything you're putting through it without buffering. I'm on high-speed internet. I mean, that computer right there, that's on T-Mobile, and the modem is connected directly to that computer. The one I'm on right now, this is not on T-Mobile. This is on Spectrum. And Spectrum is always in, out, in, out, in, out. Paul, get off Pornhub. You're not made for them kind of movies. All right, well, guys, it's been 15 minutes. I'm going to say I'm running out of wind, and I don't know if there's anything more I need to talk about. I don't think there is. So I'm going to let you guys go. Enjoy the rest of your night. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. And I'm hoping maybe I can catch you next Saturday night from the Mid-America YouTube Meetup, but I'm not going to guarantee it. I'm definitely going to take a computer with me. I'm not sure about taking that modem with me, and I'm not sure about taking anything else with me. So we'll wait and see what happens on that one. I may do some recording while we're there, and then after that, it may be... Paul, I made a shirt for my brother. I made a shirt for my brother. I'm trying to remember how I worded it. but it was funny. It was, Lord, how did I word that? It was funny. I gave it to him, and he wore that thing with pride. My stomach is flat. The F is silent. Or the L is silent. I'm sorry. My stomach is flat. The L is silent. That's what it was. All right, you guys, have a good night. Good seeing everybody here tonight, and y'all have a good weekend. We'll catch you on the next one. Later.